Two men back deep to receive for the Mustangs. The kick is up, high, end-over-end kick. It'll be fielded by one of the up men, who will take it across the 20 this way. Now across the 30, loses his footing. That was Cody Davis on the return. He gets to the 30, and that is where the Mustangs will start their first drive with 11:53 on the clock here in the first quarter.
Fort Morgan's going to have to come out and probably want to establish that running game that's got them here. But I'd like to see him maybe take a chance early and try some play-action pass, because Fort Lupton's obviously scouted the first 7 games and seen that Fort Morgan doesn't have a very potent passing game. So they're going to be putting 8 kids in the box trying to stop that Fort Morgan running game.
Ball spotted on the near hash 30-yard line as the Mustangs move left to right on your radio dial or computer screen. Martin's under center. 4 wide receivers, 2 men in the backfield. Fitzsimmons now comes in motion behind. He'll receive the toss, and he will gain the edge on the outside. Gets across the 35 to the 40, where he will be brought down right at the sticks. The officials have blown the clock dead. That indicates a first down, and the Mustangs will have 1 play, 1 first down.
Yeah, they lined up in a spread formation with 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left, and then motioned Fitzsimmons around the left side, and he got the quick pitch, and it was a nice, well-conceived play. Spread out the defense nicely.
So Fitzsimmons with the 10-yard gain on first down gives the Mustangs a fresh set of downs. And now we'll see Martin's under center. He'll turn and give to his fullback, who goes through the middle of the line. Gets just across the 40, maybe picks up 2 yards there, and it'll be a 2nd and 8.
Yeah, some tough yards inside for Godo. But Fort Morgan, again, trying to establish that running game. Fort Lupton's got some big kids out there on the line, and so it'll be a good challenge for our offensive line.
Matt Godo on the season, 23 carries coming into the game for 95 yards. He also has a touchdown. We'll see a tight formation with Schneider here to this near side. Now the man goes in motion. That's Fitzsimmons. He will try to gain the edge, but he loses his footing as he's swarmed under right back to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll be a 3rd and long play here for the Mustangs.
Well, now we'll see whether Coach Chisholm's comfortable with his passing game or not. 3rd and 9, you're going to have to probably put the ball up.
The ball spotted at the 41-yard line in the middle of the field. Fort Lupton wearing their road whites, white pants, white tops, blue numerals, blue helmets. Fort Morgan, the customary home blacks with the white tops. Martins looks to pass this time as he rolls out. He's got Schneider across the 40. He is down, taken out of bounds. The official has blown him out of bounds back at the 34-yard line. So a big pickup that time on 3rd down as Martins finds Schneider through the air.
Yeah, you had 2 receivers out to the right side. The shallow receiver was covered, and Schneider snuck in behind that cornerback.
Will officially spot the ball at the 34-yard line of Fort Lupton territory, 1st and 10. As that play goes for 26 yards. Now Alexander will get his first give of the game as he goes through the middle of the line, chugging hard. He'll be swarmed under after picking up about 4 yards. And it'll be a 2nd and 6 play for the Mustangs.
Yeah, some tough yards in there. It was nice to see them come out with that play-action pass and have some success on the first throw.
Ball spotted just outside the 30-yard line as the Mustangs looking to score here on their first possession. The give goes to the deep back. That's Godo, who gains the edge, and he'll have enough for the first down as he crosses the 25 down to the 21-yard line for another Mustang first down.
I think Fort Lupton came out here psyched up, ready to try and stop this running game, and Coach Chisholm's got enough of a mixture going on that now he's got them guessing, and they're able to run at will.
Ball spotted on this near hash. Pineda spread to this near side. Anderson to the far side. Miranda and Godo in the backfield for Martins under center. 2 tight ends in for the Mustangs. Movement on the line. We'll see as flags come out. The Fort Lupton defense looked like they jumped, but I'm not sure if they weren't provoked. It is a dead ball offside foul, so the penalty works against Fort Lupton, and the Mustangs will get a free 5 yards, making this a 1st and 5 play from inside the 20.
Always appreciate free yardage given to you by your opponents.
Spot the ball at the 17, same formation, go to the deep back, will get the ball. He'll run off the tackle the right side, get across the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll be just shy of the first down as the Mustangs need the 11.
Godo seems to be the guy they're going to early this game. 3 carries already for 14 yards.
Call it 2nd and a long 1. Martins will turn and give the ball to Alexander. Goes through the right side, and he'll be tackled just short of the goal line. A big run broken off that time by Alexander as he ran off tackle right to the near side. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line for the Mustangs on their first possession with 8:16 on the clock here in the first quarter.
He kind of ran into his own blocker who was downfield blocking. I think if he would have maybe made a cut, he could have gotten in, but here we are, 1st and goal.
Alexander dotting the I behind Miranda. The give will go to Alexander. He'll run towards the right side of the line, but he'll be stopped just short of the goal line, so it'll be a 2nd and goal play from the same line of scrimmage, the 1-yard line.
Fort Lupton's probably thinking, let's put up a good stand here and keep them out and force them to take a field goal. Fort Morgan, on the other hand, wants to punch it in and establish an early lead.
Coming up here, the 10th play of the drive. As now a heavy backfield comes in for Martins, who will give to Alexander. He'll go off the right side and in for the score as the Mustangs take a quick 6-0 lead on the touchdown run from Alexander.
Yeah, just going off the right side, following his front 2 blockers. You know, when you get in close, you want to run the power game and take it right at them.
And we'll see the swinging gate as we saw last week against Northridge. The pitch will go to Miranda behind the line of scrimmage on the far side, but he cannot handle it, and it'll be recovered by Fort Lupton. The Fort Lupton player's knee was down when he recovered it, so he was not able to advance that ball and return it back, but the score remains 6-0 with 7:26 remaining here in the first quarter.
Right, Alex, and in the high school game, anytime there's a fumble on an extra point, it's an automatic dead ball as soon as the opponent gets possession. It's not like college where they can go down and score the 2 points.
So a good drive that time. A great opening possession for the Mustangs as they are looking to win here for the first time in 2011 here at Legion Field, and it's homecoming, so there's a lot of things surrounding this game.
Oh no, the pyramid of the cheerleaders just collapsed. Luckily, no one was injured.
Everybody up. Under Harrison Chisholm, Fort Morgan is 3-1 against Fort Lupton. They lost last year 22-9. That was at Fort Lupton, but under Chisholm, the Mustangs are outscoring the Blue Devils 124-69. So they've had the Blue Devils number for every year except last year under Chisholm. Frick will tee the ball up at the 40. 2 men deep to receive for the Blue Devils. Looks like LaRoche and Lennox, 2 running backs for the Blue Devils. Frick kicks it away towards the far sideline. It'll bounce and die there right in front of the return man for Fort Lupton. He'll field it just inside the 10. Goes down the far sideline, and he'll get across the 20 to the 25-yard line. So decent field positioning here for the Blue Devils as they'll start their first offensive possession.
It'll be interesting to see what sort of offense they're going to run. I don't know if you had the same experience as me, Alex. I looked online to try and find out something about this team and looked at the stats, and several of their players were listed twice with their first names and last names switched around. So
it's a little bit confusing trying to compile everything. The Blue Devils will start off with Zach Boyd under center. He's a 6'3 junior, 188 pounds. The give will go to the middle of the line, and nothing doing there for the Blue Devils back who had the ball, I believe LaRoche with the carry. LaRoche looks like a child out there. He is a small kid. They've got him listed at 5'8", 140. I think that's the most generous 5'8" I think I've ever seen, as he just looks tiny. And, of course, they have some other big players. They've got a receiver, Dallas Hansen, 6'6", 200 pounds, so anybody's going to look small compared to that. But Boyd will stay in under center, 2 men in the backfield in I formation. Now a man comes in motion for the Blue Devils from the near side. The give will be a pitch, actually, to this near side. And a few yards, as that time it was Lennox with the carry. Check that, Logan Fern on the carry. He was only able to pick up minimal yards, so the second down play goes for not much, and now it'll be a 3rd and long for the Blue Devils. The ball resting at the 27-yard line of their own territory.
Fort Lupton's used to throwing, though. They have quite a few yards and quite a few completions on the season.
3rd and 8 now. Again, Boyd under center. He'll look back to pass, looking to the far side. It'll be off his receiver's hands. Jalen Vasquez, the intended receiver, wide open on the slant route that he ran, but the ball was delivered behind him and he wasn't able to haul it in. So a 3 and out for the Blue Devils on their first possession. They'll be forced to punt.
Yeah, good defensive stand by Fort Morgan. If they can get the ball and march it back down, then the game will start hopefully getting out of hand and we can just enjoy watching some offense.
The Blue Devils show a tight formation to start off, but then Hansen, the punter, will step back. He almost gets that kick block, and now a flag comes in as he is run into after the play. TJ Schneider, the one almost getting to the ball. I don't think he got the tip, so therefore the punter is not fair game. And this will be roughing the kicker, so a free 15 yards for the Blue Devils, and they'll have new life here after the penalty.
Yeah, an unfortunate mistake on the special teams. Probably a little fired up on homecoming, thinking he can get the block and not pulling up in time. But hopefully the defense can get another 3 and out here and stop them before they get into Fort Morgan territory.
So the penalty on 4th and 8 will move the ball now to the 42-yard line and a 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. Boyd still in there at quarterback. He brings a man in motion, turns and hands off to his deep back. That is Logan Fern, met immediately by TJ Schneider. So the man who gets the penalty makes up for it there, drops him back for a loss. A minimal loss, but a loss nevertheless. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to have an opening there, and Snyder just came in there and put a lick on him.
Mustang Football brought to you by T.O. Charlie's. See T.O. Charlie's for a great used car or truck today. If you don't see what you want on the lot, they will find it for you at 700 West Platte in Fort Morgan. A man comes in motion now for Fort Lupton as the play-action pass has Boyd looking down the field. He throws it, and it'll be off of his intended receiver's hands. Looked like he was trying to find LaRoche there. Was Boyd unable to connect with him. He had it wide open, but the ball a little bit underthrown and an awkward angle for LaRoche trying to catch that looking back over his shoulder. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 play.
Yeah, that was scary. LaRoche catches that in stride, and he may have gone all the way.
A lot of green grass in front of him. Ball spotted just outside the 40-yard line of Fort Lupton territory. Remember the continuation of this drive on the roughing the kicker penalty, roughing the punter penalty. Boyd again looks to pass. He's got a man looking down that way. Pineda all over him, though. And it falls incomplete. The intended target, Brody Nelson, a 6'3 junior, 205 pounds. He comes into the game with 8 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown. Big targets for these quarterbacks. But right now they're not being able to throw an accurate ball to them. And now we'll see Fort Lupton bring on the punting unit again, as Dallas Hansen will step back again to punt it. Yuli Hernandez deep for for the Mustangs. The punt goes out of bounds, and again, the punter run into. I'm not sure that was a penalty this time, but the punter, Dallas Hansen, again will get run into. This time only the 5-yard variety, not the personal foul. The offense coming on, like it will give them the first down, but the 5 yards won't give them the first down. So we'll see what head coach Jeff Priestley decides to do here. The offense is still on the field.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what they're going to do. They still don't have much success on offense. I think I would take the penalty and punt it again because it wasn't that great of a punt.
Now when the offense gets word that it was just a 5-yard penalty, they'll trot back off the field. And it'll be 4th and 6, but again, we'll see Hansen to kick it away.
This is where you'd want to be careful of a fake because it's 4th and 5 and already out at midfield.
So Fort Lupton's first possession has seen them punt 3 times. As this punt, kind of a dead duck, will dive out of bounds. The official right at the spot at the 33-yard line of Mustang territory. That's where they'll take over the football.
It seemed like when I looked at the stats that Fort Lupton's punter was up there with an average of 33 yards, but his first 3 attempts haven't looked that good tonight.
Well, Fort Lupton has a lot of players play a lot of different positions, as I noticed throughout looking at the statistics for them. They've actually had Zach Boyd punt 16 times this year, and Dallas Hansen, that was just his 9th punt of record on the season. Both of them were averaging 33 yards a kick. But now the Mustangs are back on the field on offense. Martins is under center, 2 men spread each way, and he has the I formation. Looks like he might have fumbled the snap that time, as that's something that Harrison Chisholm and I talked about in pregame. A broken play nevertheless, and it goes for a loss.
Yeah, I couldn't tell whether he fumbled the ball or just turned the wrong way, but when he turned, there was a big old defensive lineman that gave him a bear hug.
Martins loses about a half yard on that play, so it'll be still 2nd and 10, long 10 this time. Same formation, I formation, 2 tight ends. The pitch will go to Alexander, who goes off the left side. He crosses the 25, check that the 35, and he'll be down to about the 40-yard line as he is able to gain the edge. And a good 2nd down play will lead to a 3rd and short for the Mustangs at the 40-yard line.
Again, a nice mixture of inside-outside running, and makes a 3rd down and 3 manageable rather than a 3rd and long. So they have options on this play.
As I mentioned, Fort Lupton Fort Morgan is undefeated in homecoming games this year. At Mountain View week 2, Berthoud at week 5, at Berthoud, at Northridge last week. Martins will turn and hand the ball off to his deep back Alexander, who tries to go between guard and tackle on the right side. He'll be stopped short of the first down marker, and I am not sure what Harrison Chisholm's going to do here with a 4th and 1 play here in the first quarter, 3:12 and counting.
I think close to midfield, and with the success of your running game, 4th and 1, you go with it, especially since you've been able to stop Fort Lupton 4 times, 3 times on one drive.
Fort Lupton is deep. Maybe we'll see a hard count here from Martins. So he'll try to get the jump. Nope, he'll go a quick count. The ball's fumbled in the exchange from Martins to Alexander. He'll just fall on the ball with Alexander behind the line, and that'll be a turnover on downs for the Mustangs, giving the Blue Devils great field position in Mustang territory.
Yeah, that's not what you wanted, but you have the benefit of having your defense out there that has been able to stop them regularly. Let's just hope that doesn't give Fort Lupton a little bit of momentum, because in the high school game, momentum's a huge factor.
So after the first drive for Fort Morgan went 70 yards for the touchdown, the second drive fails to yield a first down for them, as now we'll see the Blue Devils on their second possession with 2:46 on the clock here. In the shotgun is Boyd. He'll run to this near side. He'll be met right at the line of scrimmage. I think a flag came out there. as we'll probably have a hold here on the edge as it was thrown by the line judge.
Yeah, Boyd reminds me of that kid that played for Windsor a couple weeks ago. That's tall and lanky and kind of has an awkward style to him, but he has some wheels and he accelerated into the line.
Boyd coming into the game with 36 carries, 325 yards. That's good for a 9.03 average. We'll have a procedure call against the Blue Devils. We'll see what the defense elects to do. The play went for no gain, or minimal gain, half a yard maybe. The Mustangs will take the penalty yardage. So instead of a 2nd and 10, it'll be a 1st and 15.
And Fort Lupton doesn't have an offense that can handle 1st and 15 from what we've seen so far.
Boyd's still in there. We told you they do have a dual quarterback set. The other quarterback, sophomore Jeff Merritt. Boyd looking to run the screen, and it will fall incomplete as TJ Schneider was there to put the pressure on Boyd. And Jordan LaRoche, the intended receiver, couldn't haul it in. It'll be 2nd and 15 now.
Yeah, Boyd now 0 for 4. That play had quite a few interesting things about it. He almost got sacked. There was a defender that almost got the interception, and then the running back got the ball in his hands and had 3 big linemen in front of him and drops it.
Now we'll see Boyd in the shotgun as LaRoche is flanking him. 2 men spread to this near side, 2 men to the far side as Boyd gets the shotgun snap, and he'll run through the line himself, call his own number. He'll be stood up, though, after gaining 2 yards. And it'll be another 3rd down situation for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Boyd on that really didn't give much time before he took off. Obviously, the plan of the play was to be a quarterback draw. But then he ran right into the middle of the lineman when there looked like there was some room off to the sides.
Ball spotted at the 44-yard line. The Blue Devils need the 31 of Mustang territory to get a 1st down. A 3rd and 13 play here as Boyd will move back to the I formation. 1-man split each direction, 2 in the backfield. He'll get the snap, and he's looking to pass, drops back, looking to the far sideline, but it will be intercepted there by the Mustangs. I believe Michael Fitzsimmons coming down with his 2nd pick in consecutive weeks. And a turnover there for the Blue Devils will give the Mustangs the ball back.
Yeah, Boyd's got a really nice arm. He can throw the ball far, but he's lacking a little bit of accuracy. Nice turnover for Fort Morgan, and long field of 90 yards, but maybe a nice, well-conceived drive can, take a little bit of the wind out of Fort Lupton's sails.
Minute 41 showing on the clock here in the first quarter at Legion Field as Fitzsimmons comes away with his 2nd pick on the year. His first one coming last week, as I said, at Northridge. 1st and 10 from the 10 of Mustang territory. Martins gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw to this near side. Has only one option, and that's Bohm. He'll keep it himself. Will Martins get across the 15, and he'll get to near the 20-yard line, maybe just beyond it. Hard to see with the players. Yes, he is past the 20-yard line, so he gets enough for the 1st down. Spot the ball at the 21.
Yeah, that was kind of a dangerous play. Fort Morgan with an offensive lineman downfield because of the time it took for the play to develop, and so it was wise of him to turn it upfield and make something positive out of it.
Martins retreats back to the huddle. Fort Morgan football brought to you by Platte Valley Hearing Center, 417 Main Street in Fort Morgan, getting your hearing to its very best. Tight formation for the Mustangs. 3 men in the backfield. Alexander dots the 2 fullbacks. 2 tight ends. The give goes to Fitzsimmons, who will go around the far side of the field. Will pick up a yard as he ran from the near hash all the way to the numbers on the far side, only getting a yard in the direction that matters. And it'll be a 2nd and 9 play from the 25-yard line. Oh, they'll give him more than just a yard, 2 yards there. 25-yard line, spot of the football.
Yeah, Fort Morgan starting to spread the ball around. 4 different people have carried the ball for him.
Clock dips under a minute here in the first quarter. Fort Morgan leading 6-0. They have the football. A man spread each direction for Martins, who's under center. The give goes to Alexander, and he'll be swarmed under behind the line of scrimmage. So right now, good penetration by that Fort Lupton defensive front, getting to Alexander before he can really get his wheels churning after we saw him run all over them on the first drive of the game.
Right, I think Fort Lupton's starting to realize that while Fort Morgan has thrown the ball downfield once, they still haven't established a passing game, and they're just bringing everybody up and attacking the run.
3rd and 9 for the Mustangs. So they'll have that power I formation. Martins with the quick count will look to pass. He's got a man on this near side. Pineda, the intended receiver, but it will fall incomplete as Seth McCorkle was on the coverage, able to put a hand in there and kind of disrupt Pineda seeing the football from Martins, and that'll bring up a 4th down and the punting unit, as we will see Tony Zwetzig for the first time, averaging 34.23 on his 26 punts this year. Two men deep for the Blue Devils as Zwetzig gets off a nice high kick. It'll be fielded at the 41-yard line for the Blue Devils. The man will run up. That was Juan Vargas on the return. Get just shy of the 50-yard line, so a return of 7 yards there for the Blue Devils. And they will have the football as the clock comes to a close here in the first quarter. When we come back, it'll be Fort Lupton football right near midfield. Mustangs lead 6-0 after 1. You're listening to Mustang Football on B106 and B106.com.